So let's have a look at some rules for rounding numbers. So when we do it, we're doing it as a way to estimate or give a general idea. And you can see the little picture that I've put there. When you're trying to count the number of jelly beans or marbles in a jar, you're simply estimating. If I was to think about how much money I've got in my bank account, I can estimate it's around about $500, okay? So you're just giving a general idea. It's not being specific. So we need to think about the numbers. If the number that we're rounding is followed by notice I said followed by a 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, then we're going to round the number upwards. If the number I'm rounding is followed by 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4, then we round the number down. So in the next few videos we'll go through explicitly how to do different types of rounding to different levels. Let's have a look at rounding to the nearest 10. So remember, if I've got a number 1, 2, 3 or 4 that's following the number I want to round, I round down. If it's a 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, I'm going to round upwards. Okay. So the question here is, what is 13 rounded to the nearest 10? So I've got my number line there, and when I talk about 13, I can put my little dot there, there's 13. I'm looking to the round to the nearest 10. So either I need to talk about the number 10 or the number 20, and I'm simply looking at which number is closer. So the value that I want, the nearest 10, that's the 1 value. The number that comes after it is a 3. That means I'm rounding downwards to 10. So 13 rounded to the nearest 10 is 10. Let's have a look at rounding to the nearest 100. So if I'm talking about a number between 0 and 100, the middle, halfway between, is 50. So if I have a number that is below 50, so up to 49, then I'm going to round it downwards. If I've got a number that's 50 and above, I round it up to 100. So you can see I've got my number line drawn there from 0 up to 100. And the question is, what is 63 rounded to the nearest 100? So 63 on my number line is going to be round about here somewhere. And I'm looking at rounding to the nearest 100, so it's either 0 or 100. Which number is it closer to? Well, as I said, there halfway is that 50, so it's above that, therefore rounded to the nearest 100 would be 100. Let's have a look at rounding to the nearest whole number. So we've got to identify our number up to the ones digit, work out if the next number is up or down, and decides for whether it stays or rounds up. So let's have a look at this. I want to round the number 15.4 to the nearest whole number. So I've got my number line there, and you can see how I've broken it down into the decimal values. So 15.4 on my number line is around about here, and I want to know whether that is closer to the whole number. So whole number is either 15 or 16, and so I'm looking to see which end is it closer to. So halfway between 15 and 16 is 15.5, and you can see that's where our middle line there is. So 15.5 and above means I round up. Anything below, I round down. So in this case, I'm going to round it down to 15. So that would be my answer.